Welcome to this week's Swarf and Chips. This is what's coming up on today's show. Now, the question I asked to you is, are you Mac ready? Because we certainly are. Come and join us. We've got a stand outside of Hall 17. So come and join us. And now we're going to head on inside where Gio is speaking to Mike Sykes.
I'm here today at Mazak with Mike Sykes. MTDCNC are going to be on the Mazak stand on Monday, all 20, 760 and 790 are the stands. Now, we're going to discuss with Mike automation in a little bit more detail. There's a huge emphasis from Mazak on automation, and you're going to be having three new machines at Mac with automation solutions. The first machine being the Variaxis i300. What's new about this machine?
Okay, well, the Variaxis is a machine that we've been producing for a long time. The i300 is a slightly smaller machine that's been geared around complex parts, automotive, aerospace, perhaps medical parts, long cycle times, but not necessarily long batches. Now, this system has a work handling unit, but also an extra tool stocker. And the work handling unit allows a standard 32 pallets or up to 40 pallets to be exchanged to and from the machine for unmanned running. But the tool stocker is expandable, so that you can expand it from 145 tools in 60 tool increments up to 505 tools. That can be expanded at a later date as well. So we're quite pleased with the solution that we've got here, and it's going to be seen at Mac.
What is the second machine that you're going to be displaying at Mac?
Okay, well, the second machine is the multiplex, and the multiplex again has been produced for many years by Mazak, but this new multiplex has really been improved in just about every area possible, so feeds and speeds, accuracy. But as far as automation goes, this multiplex has a gantry solution, so you can pick and place workpieces to and from a conveyor on the left-hand side of the machine. But we've improved this conveyor solution in many ways. It's more flexible. You can add different processes in there as well at a later stage, so you can reprogram the path of the actual gantry. An integrated measuring solution, a laser marking solution, a gauging station, for example. The gantry is faster than it ever was before, so the actual chip-to-chip time is a lot less. And you can also load and unload this gantry while the machine is working as well, which incorporates quite a lot of improvements to try and maximize the productivity from that machine.
And moving on now to the final machine, what is this final machine? The QT with automation solution, the RoboJob. What's new about this machine?
QT is a UK produced machine, and what we've done here is we've integrated as what we call an OEM solution, the RoboJob, which is a robot solution that has been sold in quite high volume already with Mazak machines as a retrofit, but for the first time we've made this as, I say, an OEM style solution. And what we've done here is made a closer integration using the smooth technology that we have on our controller on the machine. We've done a closer integration so that we can schedule the robot directly from the machine control. We've given the overall solution what we call the KOD style guarding, and we've taken out one of the PLCs because of this closer integration as well. So we've driven down the cost of the package as a whole, which is proving obviously really popular, and simplifying the system and making it more of an integrated package.
In your opinion, what is the importance of automation now in the UK, and not only the automation, but tying that automation in with Industry 4 and the iSmart facilities that you have to offer, your smooth control? How does the synchronization of all these technologies, effectively and ultimately improve your customers' productivity?
Well, to pick up the automation element first, obviously more automation is allowing our customers to compete on a level playing field with other people in other parts of the world that are doing similar things. The connectivity side is very important because it links into all of the exciting developments that are happening with Industry 4.0, all of the data management, all of the connectivity issues that come from Industry 4.0, and really we're pushing ahead in all those areas.
And what is the importance to have the service and backup that you can provide here at Mazak when coming to purchase a solution like we've been discussing today?
Obviously it's a key part of it, the servicing and getting the machine installed in a timely manner, being able to support those machines where possible. It's a hugely important part of the package.
And Mike, can you just remind everyone, where can we find you at Mac?
We can be found in Hall 20 at Mac in booths 760 to 790.
So, Joe, what are you looking forward to seeing most on the Mazak stand?
Well, they do everything, don't they? You could be in aerospace, automotive, something a bit more niche like motorsport. They've got a product for you. So whether you're after a 2-axis lathe or full multitasking capability with automation, connectivity, they do everything, don't they?
They really do. And Gio, what are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to see the iSmart technology in action and synchronising all of their technologies.
Okay, so make sure you're joining us on the Mazak stand on Monday the 9th. So we're at destination number 2. Thank you for joining us, Paul. DMG MORI. We're going to be on the stand on Tuesday of the MAC week. So why are we here, Paul?
Well, I think DMG MORI, well, the name says it all really, doesn't it? It's synonymous with quality, precision. I know from listening to some of the videos we've done already with Steve, some of the highlights that are going to be on at the show. Obviously, the backdrop here, 5-axis machining, high-speed 5-axis machining. There's also a lot of automation, a lot of focus on automation, and also some focus on additive manufacturing, both laser and powder.
You know, the automation, when we've done Swarf and Chips previously, there's been a real kind of heavy emphasis on automation. So they're really at the cusp of what the industry is requiring now as well, I think. Gio, what else?
I think there's a big emphasis on automation, but there's also a unique machine there, the DMU80, which has got grinding capability, which is going to be on show at MAC, which people should get along to come and have a look at this machine.
Yeah, DMG MORI as well. Didn't they do an event, Get Into Gear event? What was that all about?
I think they have a seminar, or they have an area at MAC where they're going to be showcasing Industry 4 and the software, and gear cutting seminar or gear cutting technology will be within that solutions area that people can come and attend if they're looking to find out a little bit more about gear cutting.
I think it's not just always about the machines, though, is it, when you go into shows like this? It's about the information that the companies are providing too.
Yeah, I think what's interesting, what Gio says about the gear cutting as well, a lot of manufacturers are trying to provide machinery that can give you a kind of a one-hit solution. And that's exactly what DMG MORI will be showing on their stand as well. There'll also be an LLX with a gantry loader. So when we're talking about automation, it's about getting parts into the machine and out of the machine without having to have operator intervention. Again, Industry 4 is a big part of that as well. The Celios control, which you know a little bit about, don't you, in the interfacing of that?
Yeah, I mean, the Celios control is so easy to use, it's so user-friendly. So the next generation of control, but for also the next generation of engineers that are coming through, it's so simple to use, it's app-based. So the younger engineers are picking it up seamlessly. You know, it's very easy, and the simplicity is a feature of what DMG MORI are trying, and a point that they're trying to get across, making things simple.
Yeah, and they're definitely on brand, on trend, aren't they, DMG MORI?
Definitely, and some of the new machines that are coming through as well. There is a new range of machinery that will be there, and their existing plant that we can see here, on brand, on point. The machines look fantastic, and you know, and I'm sure there'll be a lot to see there.
Well, actually, I've had enough of you, Per, and I want to hear from the MD, Stephen himself, speaking to Mark a few weeks back.
Steve, it's late January. We're here at DMG MORI UK. We're principally here to talk to you about your stand at MAC and why engineers should visit you. Could you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, we've got a great array of machines on the stand, really from a very straightforward 2-axis lathe through to multi-axis machines. We've got some of those machines are coming in from the factories on loan to us. So it's a great opportunity for people to come and visit and see these machines in the UK. We range from, as I say, straightforward 2-axis machines. We've got powder additive machines on and laser deposition machines. So we've got both styles of additive manufacturing on there. We have DMU 5-axis machines with grinding facilities, and we will be displaying quite a bit of automation as well.
And for those engineers that don't know DMG MORI, what hall are you in?
We're in Hall 20. We're at the front where one of the main entrances are. The exhibition itself is bigger. I think it's easier for customers to get to. It's easier for parking to actually get access, but you'll see us right at the front.
And for those engineers looking for something a little bit different, what would catch their eye in your view of the machines that you're showing?
Well, I think automation is really important. It's a buzzword. It has been for many years, but the simplicity of the automation that we're supplying is a major advantage to our customers, and it allows customers to get better efficiency and productivity out of their machines.
Is there anything else that engineers should know about your stand?
Yeah, we'll have an array of software options on there as well. With the CLOS control, we will be exhibiting all the functions on there, how we deal with Industry 4.0, how we deal with various software applications, and that will be quite highly promoted on the stand.
Thank you, Steve and Mark. Now, Paul, you used to actually sell these machines, so why would you encourage people to visit the DMG MORI stand?
They were pretty easy machines to sell, if I'm honest. I mean, I say that tongue in cheek, but you know, they were always leaders in their technology, their innovation, and they paid such a focus on making sure they were, and an investment in people and in the technology. So that's really why it was almost always like, if someone wanted to be at the forefront, you know, a DMG MORI was always like, you know, the prestige machine to buy. So and yeah, I sold a few in my time. Mind you, didn't you as well?
Yeah, I did. Anyway, so join us on the DMG MORI stand, and we're going to be there on Tuesday. Now, what's the next stop? Where are we going?
NCMT.
We're now at our third destination, NCMT. Now, we're going to be on their stand on the Wednesday of MAC Week. So, Gio, why are we encouraging everybody to join us on the NCMT stand?
Well, NCMT are well renowned for their machine tools, mills, lathes, EDM machines they bring in, cylindrical grinders, but they're also bringing new innovative work holding technology in blue photon, and I caught up with Richard about that, so there's a nice little video for us to watch there. Richard, blue photon is something we can see at MAC, and you're doing live demos. What is blue photon?
So blue photon is a ultraviolet light cured adhesive. This can be used to hold a component in place ready for machining.
So effectively it's work holding, innovative new technology work holding. And what kind of components would you look to hold with this new work holding technology?
Well, really you've got different areas. So as you can see on the table here, we've got a typical turn component, so a bearing, so spherical internal, straight external, but we can actually machine both internally and externally on this in one situation, so we can hold with our grippers on the back and turn over the entire length of the component, so we're making sure we're getting really good concentricity, roundness is kept down to the bare minimum, so you know, a good solution for turning. Also, we've got a typical example here, an aerospace component, so this gets quite thin, possible to basically bend when you're clamping mechanical clamps. With the blue photon, we're clamping in that free state. You know, one of the huge benefits of using blue photon is we're clamping it in a free state, and with it being aluminium, you know, using magnets, we can't really use magnets on this.
I assumed that this technology was predominantly for milling machines, but obviously you mentioned that you can do turning with the blue photon. Now, you mentioned concentricity. Now, how would you centralise such a part using blue photon?
Yeah, well, this is a typical example which will actually be shown at the MAC show. This will be fixed with grippers at the back, but on the main master fixture, as that's been bonded to the actual fixture itself, we'll have a central location plug that will go in with a taper on that will keep this centralised, ready for our bonding. Once it's cured, we can take the central bung out with the taper on it, and it's then open for us then to do the machining internally and externally. So, you know, a great solution. A great simple solution for us to use. We've got to remember we're doing finished turnings, we're going to take an amount of material off, so the accuracy of the centralisation, it's got to be good, but it hasn't got to be spot on.
This is a solution, Richard. Is it dedicated to one particular part, or do you get an element of flexibility if you were looking to invest in blue photon?
It is flexible, you know. You buy the kit, you've got that kit to use on a wide variety of different components. A lot of people struggle using mechanical clamps on components and distorting them. This is a great solution that will go up against it, you know.
And if you were looking to set the part up, you know, how long does it take to cure all the pads and to release the component once you've cured them and clean the pads?
Yeah, I mean, there is time involved in to cure this glue itself. I mean, for an example, if you're doing a set of 4 grippers, it could take anything up to a minute with a 4-way split fibre optic cable. But this is all time being done whilst it's machining another component. So that's the sort of benefit you've got to think about, is it's going to be done at the same time as another component's being machined. That time's taken up with demounting the old part of the fixture, mounting on this next component onto the fixture whilst the machine's still running. Then they can swap the 2 fixtures over and keep the machine running, basically.
Am I correct in saying that, you know, you're achieving a stable process that wouldn't have otherwise been able to have been achieved on such complex components that you wouldn't be able to, you know, potentially you could have crushed the components, for example?
Yeah, well, that's, as I said before, really, the main benefits is we're achieving that free state machining. That's one of the key things. This free state machining, we're not clamping inwards, we're not pulling down, we're just using that adhesive to take up the gap and fix it hard, so we can then machine the component. And
you're doing live demos on the turning and the milling. Any other machines that we can expect to see Blue Photon?
Yeah, so at MAC we will have the Multispeed 200 doing the turning demo of the bearing. We'll have the Makino DA300 that will be milling an aluminium component. And then also we'll have, on an EDM, we'll be using the fixture on one of the EDM machines as well.
Well, I'm really looking forward to see these live demos at MAC. Thank you, Richard.
Wow, what an innovative product. Now, Paul, what else are we going to see on the stand?
Well, I think this, where we're standing here, I mean, you look at the Akuma machines that are around us, that's a big part of the sort of exploring I've been doing from NCMT recently. I think we do take it for granted as well. Some of these places we go, some of these machines that we see, a lot of engineers that go to MAC aren't going to have seen machinery like this before in action. Specifically here as well, we have the entry-level range of turning sensors from Akuma, which is going to be at the show, which kind of shows you that whether you thought that Akuma was maybe out of your reach, that isn't necessarily the case, and of course there's much more too.
And also, I've got a question to ask. A lot of companies will have similar parts. No, I won't make it too difficult. A lot of companies will have different parts that they want making. What makes NCMT stand out from the rest?
You did make it hard. I tell you what, why don't we get Richard in, because I'm sure he can answer this better than me.
Okay, let's have a go. Richard, thank you. Lovely to have your company, Richard. Now, I've just asked Paul the same question. What makes NCMT stand out?
One is the technology that we have within our machines, but also the solutions that we provide. So we can do a full solution with all our engineers in-house, so we can look at automation, a complete turnkey solution, basically.
Automation, let's start there then. What machines have you got for automation at MAC?
At MAC we are going to have the Makino DA300 with a cell row automation system on the front of that. So we'll be loading in pallets to the machine, but also we're going to be, alongside our Blue Photon work holding, we're going to be loading in fixtures that are basically using that Blue Photon technology.
What about EDM machines?
EDM machines, we've got two EDM machines. So we've got a wire cut machine. Also we have got a sinking machine as well.
And cylindrical machines?
Cylindrical grinders, yes. Yep. We have got an Akuma cylindrical grinder. Done them for many years. Just trying to make people remember, really, that we do cylindrical grinding. You know, very high quality, very high end cylindrical grinders.
And where are you going to be?
We are in Hall 19 on stand 650.
Well remembered. And isn't this the largest ever stand you've ever had at a MAC show?
Yeah, this year we're putting a lot into it, so it's the largest stand we've ever had.
Well, I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday of the MAC show. Thank you so much, Richard. Next up, Star. Whew, it's been a long day, but we're here finally. As you may know already, we're at Star, and at the MAC show next week, we're going to be on the Star stand on Thursday. So, Paul, Gio, why would you encourage people to come and visit Star?
I think we've learned a lot over recent weeks about some of the technology that they're going to have on show on their stand. Firstly, I'd mentioned the SR32J2 Type B and the SR20J2 Type B, two new models that are being unveiled at MAC. So first showing at a MAC show. They're much heavier machines than their predecessor. They've got more tools on the machine, and they're also more powerful. But we did catch up with Alec last week, so let's cut to that. Alec, this is one of the highlights from Star GB at the show. Tell us about this machine, this SR32J2 Type B.
This is the upgraded model from our previous version, the SR32J. Lots of enhancements on this particular model, including guide bush, non-guide bush, more power across all the spindles, more rigidity in the machine structure. It's got dovetail slides on many of the axes now to increase the rigidity, so it enhances the machine in many, many ways compared to the previous model.
And you've also got the SR20J2 Type B as well, haven't you? That's just a smaller version of this.
It is. It's got the same enhancements, more power, more speed, more features on the controller as well, to give our customer base that little bit extra, really.
So for engineers coming to MAC, when they see these models, what are the actual benefits they can achieve from having one of these machines? More metal removal, is that key?
It is. We've increased the base casting structure, we've gone, like I say, to dovetail slides to give the machine more stability, more rigidity, to cope with the extra power that we've put across all the spindles. So Customers have got more tooling configurations, more overlap on the back working because we've got more tooling positions to use. So cycle times can be reduced. We can take the metal off even quicker with the extra power that we've got.
Interesting video. Now, next up, Gio, what's this new software?
High frequency turning, HFT. Listen to what Alec's got to say. It'll save you lots of money. Tell me a little bit about HFT, please, Alec.
This is a software option that we can retrofit to machines, and it enables chipping of difficult to chip materials.
And how easy is it to install onto the machines?
The clever bit is on the PMC side, so it's very easy to install. It's the PMC changes and a few additional macros to drive the software, so it's quite simple.
On new and old machines?
Yes, it's control dependent. I think the oldest we've done so far is a machine that's 12 years old, so it can go back quite a distance, yeah.
And what are the main gains and productivity gains the customer is likely to see using this new technology?
It prevents swarf building up around tools, around the guide bush, around the collets, etc. So it allows the spindles to be turning, the door to be down, machine to be in production for longer, making more money for our customers.
Thanks, Gio. Now, Paul, Alec talks about larger bar capacity that they're promoting at the show. What's this all about?
Yeah, I mean, sliding head lathes predominantly and historically have been for smaller bar diameters, you know, sometimes 32 mil. Some machines have gone up to 36, but Star have really gone beyond the boundaries now, and they're up to 42 millimeters on some of their machines. So they're bridging the gap between kind of fixed head and sliding head lathes. But
are we going to see that at the show?
We will. There'll be the SR38 and the ST38. But Alec did tell us, again, a little bit more about these machines and what you can expect to see at MAC on them. Alec, we're going to be talking about 38mm machines, or the Star 38 range. This is the SR model. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about this and what they can see at MAC?
For sure, this is our Platinum 38mm machine. Obviously it goes guide bush, non-guide bush, so it can go up to 42 millimeters in non-guide bush mode. At MAC we will be doing a 42mm component in stainless steel as part of our assembly, so they'll be able to see that cutting live at the show.
Is this a big message from Star, the bigger bar diameters? Is this where the business and the machines, or a lot of machines, are going?
For sure, you know, we're trying to expand and take market share across, you know, fixed head machines in the 42mm bracket. So this machines offer lots of benefits because it's a platinum machine. It's very quick. There's not so much idle time between tool changes, so customers can get a huge advantage with our technology in the 42mm class.
Thanks, Paul. Now, why would you encourage people to come onto the Star stand?
Well, I think this is a lovely part here, isn't it? I mean, they can come and see this being made. Explain what it is, Gio.
This is a microscope, but it's been made from several components that are being demonstrated on each machine type. So you can walk away with this beautiful microscope. It's a piece of art, really, Lindsay, isn't it?
And who gets this? Because they're not going to just give those away, because there's quite a decent cost to that as well.
If you've got something extremely small that you can't see, possibly, but I think people that come and show obviously a genuine interest in turning technology, not just the machines, but Star are very big into, and one of the things they'll be promoting is their solutions, their sales. I mean, it's no secret, we travel a lot around, don't we, hear about skill shortages, companies, whereas many years ago they may have done all the engineering in-house and developed projects from start to finish in-house. Now often they haven't got the resource to do that, so they need a supplier of not only a machine but the application support, and that's very much what Star prides itself on. In fact, they're the first to say that the majority of their sales come as a result of their service and their support, which is you know, a critical.
It's massive. And also, Gio, why would you encourage people to visit the Star stand?
I think just for the new technology that's on show and some of the solutions that Star are now providing to their customer, not just sliding head but fixed head, large bar capacity, small bar capacity, you know, they're a real solution provider.
There's a lot of machines that are now available with non-guide bush as well as guide bush, and you can change from one to the other. So it is bringing Star, that they are promoting their products now to an audience. Well, probably the best thing to say is that if you're a fixed head user and you're doing turn parts of, you know, 20, 30, 40 mil diameter, you think fixed head is the best solution for you. Actually, that might not be the case. You know, a Star machine may be able to, you may not even think about sliding head or a Star machine, but actually it could be a better solution, more efficient.
And that's the thing, that's what these shows are all about, getting you in front of the machine and learning something new. And a lot of the companies will be bringing over their engineers, bringing over all of their ideas and everything, and that's an absolutely priceless reason to visit the show. Now, I've got one more question for you guys. Are you Mac ready?
Certainly am, Lindsay.
Look at this, I've been training for weeks. Totally Mac ready. Can't wait, next week.
Next week. We look forward to seeing you.